Hello, Goody Two Shoes. My name is Aubrie Rose. Welcome back to my channel. I finally finished another book. It is like September 13th, and so it took me like a week to finish another book. Yeah, a week. It took me a week to finish another book, but in reality, I was DNFing books for a week, and then I started a book 2 days ago, and I finished it last night / this morning because I couldn't go to sleep without finishing it. Alright, the book that I stayed up all night, not all night, I still slept a lot. The book that I stayed up reading was The Good Detective by John McMahon. Alrighty, so the tagline, I feel like I saw this during Prime Day, and I didn't get it, but I put it on my list, and I was like, I need to get this. Maybe it wasn't Prime Day, but definitely Amazon told me about this book. So the tagline is, how do you solve a crime if you killed the prime suspect? And I was like, absolutely, I want to read this book, and I want to figure out how you can solve a crime if you killed the prime suspect. Yeah, I was very excited about this book, but I didn't feel like I was in the mood to read it until recently when I started listening to true crime again. True crime comes in waves. The thrillers, mysteries, horror comes in waves when I like to read it. And yesterday, the last 2 days was like the perfect time to read this book, and I devoured it. I read it in like 2 sittings, maybe a little bit more than that, but like 3 sittings maybe. So I'm going to give you guys just the good, clean, fun review, and then we'll get to like spoilers and stuff. So for good, there were only 3 things that I didn't like, and that was as a writer and someone who's studied a lot in writing, I do agree with the fact, I guess, that you should not introduce any more information or any more characters in the 3rd act, and I do think that happened in this book. I think we were introduced to another character and some more information, so I really think with a mystery or a thriller, there should be like, you're only getting new information maybe in the first half of the book, maybe the first, was it like 3/4 of the book, and then during the last part of it, it should just be like connecting all the dots, not necessarily getting new information. So there was that in here, but if you're not as much of a stickler about this as I am, you probably won't even notice, and it wouldn't even bother you. The 3rd thing is, when we are reading a book from the point of view of the main character, from the detective, I really don't like getting the victim's point of view in their last moments, because the detective doesn't get to know that. Only the victim, the villain, the murderer, and God know what happens in those moments, and maybe witnesses, but because there weren't any witnesses for that, and we never really got that, I didn't like the little snippets from the victim's point of view. Other people might not mind it, but I really like, if the detective doesn't know it, I don't want to know what happened. And this is definitely something that is definitely a me thing in reading, so that's more probably just would bother me. It did feel very jarring whenever it happened, and so I skipped it over. I read like the first 2, and then I was like, I can't read these anymore. So, and it also felt like I was getting too much information when I really wanted to just learn it with a detective. So I don't think that I missed anything from skipping over those parts. There could be things that I would have gotten earlier if I had read them, but I didn't really have a desire to, so I didn't. That's, again, more of a me thing, so maybe not like a subjective thing, but that is the reason why I would give this 4.5 stars for good instead of like a full 5 star. But other than those things, which might not even bother you, so it was really just a me thing, it was very, very good. Especially for this being technically his debut novel, but his second book that he wrote. It is fantastic, and I can't wait to read more of this man's books. Clean. This book was also very clean. There was no sexual content. There was a little bit of a love interest, but nothing sexual happens. So that was very nice. And yes, the crime is very brutal, but you kind of understand going into something like this. And the language was very minimal. It wasn't like there were 10 plus cuss words on every other page. It was very minimal, and only when like, someone would actually say a cuss word, because they're just gotta get the emotion out or whatever. But yes, so very, very clean. The only thing in here was violence. If you probably wouldn't want to read this book anyway, but really just a little bit of language, and definitely an adult rating on the language, but like it was very minimal, very clean. And I love this book. If you read a book in 3 sittings, I don't know how you can't love it. So this is probably like a new 5-star rate for me, which I'm very excited about. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed this book. And I know I said I was going to get into spoilers, but honestly, I think that was it. Go read this book. Yeah. I don't know, is there anything else that I want to talk about it? I think I really said it all. Alrighty, so if you have not already, do yourself a favor and go pick this book up, whether from your library or you can find it in the description down below. And yeah, read The Good Detective and be excited for any more P.T. Marsh books coming out, because we're getting another one. I don't know when this was published, but I need to know when the next one comes out. Okay, it was published in 2019. I need to see if the next one is out yet. Okay, hold on, let me check my phone, but I'm filming on, and then I'll let you guys know. Okay. Guys, not only is the second one out, and it is titled The Evil Men Do, but the third one is out, which is The Good Kill, I think. I put them on hold immediately, obviously. My library has the third one, but not the first or the second one, which is very interesting. But yeah, so I am going to be reading all of those. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye!